What's up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond. I'm back with an all-new episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. This was a long episode, and there was a lot that needs to be said, so let's get into it. So, ending it with the night of Mel and Martell's fight, the boys are playing basketball, and they're having discussion as what led to the fight last night. They're going back and forth with the pros and cons. They can understand Melly's plight for her using her pain into a form of her healing with the song and everything, but they don't like that it's being sung in front of the kids. Now, I know it's all about protecting the kids. I understand that, but I feel like the kids are not stupid, especially the oldest ones. They know what the song means and they know what the song came from. But I get the fact that, I'm trying to understand both parts. I really am. Mel knew what she was doing when she wanted to talk about the video, but she didn't even discuss the video in depth. She just said she did it. But the fact that Martell doesn't like the fact that Mel is thriving with what he put her through, he can't take it. And she knows that he can't take it. So she's gonna throw it in his face. Look, you heard me, thought I was gonna come crawling, tumbling, and all that type of stuff. No, I'm thriving and you can't stand it. So Marceau believes that Martell and Mel are using the kids as pawns to take a dig at each other. Martell wants to constantly bring up the kids for Mel to make sure she's being, smart, she's being wise, and she's protecting other kids' feelings. Mel wants to bring it back to Martell and say, remember, you didn't think about those kids when you were doing what you was doing. So, and the only ending result for that is the hurt of the kids, and we don't want the kids being hurt. I can agree with you, Marcel, I can. So then they were talking about the surprise therapy. Marcel brings the surprise therapy that Tisha surprised him with, and how he did not know what was happening. He did not know how to go about it, and they felt like, okay, maybe she felt like this was the only way to reach out to you. Really? How? Well, if she couldn't come at you with her feelings of a direct, communication, she probably felt like the therapy was the best thing for you to hear her out. And then, of course, he talked about that Tisha is going through a bit of a confidence level, not up, it's going down. And he said in the beginning, she was such a confident person. I had to walk behind her because she was imitating greatness and everything. I had to make sure that I was following her lead. But Martell had to remind Marceau, remember, in the beginning, you didn't want her to do nothing. You didn't allow her to do anything. And since she's in a different world right now, she's in a much bigger world than what she used to be. She is now a business owner, a woman with 2 master degrees. So she now has to feel like, I'm a helpmate too. I want to be a part of this fight with you too. And I feel like Marceau, you know what you did, because he feels like, I never knew that she didn't, have this type of, lack of confidence. I did not know. The things that you told her what she couldn't do, you thought that wasn't bringing down her confidence. Tisha is still not confident in who she is right now because of you, because of what you say, because of how you say. The fact that she is still feeling like she has to defend everything that's been said about you in the streets because she knows that you are doing something foul, but you want to word your way into her making it unbelievable. And like the things that she wanted to express to you, you probably didn't even accept it and felt like she probably didn't need to do it in your form of protecting her. But in a way, that was pretty much saying she can't do it in the way you told her, which I do believe. Tisha wants to do more, but she wants to get back into her real estate. She wants to be more of a businesswoman, but you feel like she doesn't have to. Why? Because she can definitely thrive and succeed, probably do more than what you think you can do. So obviously she's want to be important and bring the team together so we can both make money, so we can both come out on top. It's not just falling on you. And Lewis can tell. He said, listen, this is a clear understanding that Marceau and Tisha lack communication, and it's definitely bleeding into their marriage. We know that. They don't communicate. Tisha is afraid of how Marceau is going to react, and Marceau thinks he knows everything and doesn't need help from nobody, not even a licensed therapist that can help them navigate through their marriage, help them navigate how to communicate with each other. If Tisha can't even come to him directly without him thinking what she's saying doesn't make sense or it's stupid, because Marceau and Maurice have a gift of gab. They word all the way around with big fancy ass words to not take accountability and say, you know what, we need help. And I'm willing to take down my pride, thinking that I know everything, and accept help. So, and then Lewis said, it's affecting her confidence. She could see a problem form when there shouldn't even be a problem. And it is true. The whole thing about Miss Wanda, the whole thing about hearing about the rumors and the side baby, it is swirling in Tisha's mind that she has to do everything that she can to make sure nobody else is saying nothing about her marriage. And what Marceau is not already saying it and not already giving information as what it is. But Marceau wants the group to understand if we're going to be in a group setting, there needs to be a level of respect. The argument that you have between you and Mel, that wasn't cool. When someone says stop, you need to stop. There's no need to drag it. There's no need to add more into it, because at the end of the day, it brings down the morality of the fun that we're supposed to have here. And Martell was like, listen, I understand we can have arguments, but arguments that we have, we always tend to get over it and come back and be where we at. But I'm understanding where Marcel's coming from, because this was supposed to be an anniversary trip for them. But I also felt like Tisha and Marcel have engaged in making this weekend a downhill. It didn't automatically fall on Mel and Martell. No, they played a big part of it. But you guys have also said some things. Marcel, you complain to the men about how you are tired, but you want to stay for the kids because you don't want to go through all this over again. I cannot deal with divorce. You kind of brought the morale down when you did not understand what happens in a divorce, or you don't understand why people do divorce. And they were saying, listen, why are we talking about this on an anniversary weekend? That's what Maurice said. So, and Martell, he feels, and then Martell, I remember now. Martell feel like, listen, unless you've been in my situation, you can't tell me what I can and cannot do. You don't understand the shoes that I'm in. But Maurice and Lewis know where you're in. You're in a divorce. It's still fresh. Wounds are still healing. And of course, anything that you can say or your other counterpart is going to piss you off, but you're losing the focus of the bigger picture here. It's the kids. Do you guys really want to go back 5 years about an argument that does not need to be relevant from that point on? You're arguing about a woman who you felt like wasn't capable of watching your 4 kids, was a redundant, stupid argument that you had to put on live that made a dumb effect after that. You want to have that type of conversation the next 5 years? That's going to be stupid by then. So y'all need to stop arguing about stupid, petty things. And, obviously, yes, he don't want to take a lesson from Marcel because he's not going to take a lesson from a licensed person. But Martell, you do need to keep your temper in check. I'm sorry, Martell, you will have to eat every single thing that happens with you. It happens to you. When it comes to getting constant reminder of what you did. I'm sorry. But you're going to have to learn how to not lash out every time it's being brought to your attention. You're going to need to move on, take it differently, and not let it be bright all over again. Don't do that. So all the guys are like hearing other women come outside with their bathing suits on, and they want to have a fun day. Let's let this dark cloud end. So obviously they're realizing, where's Mel? Where's Mel? She's missing action. I'll go get her. This is Martell. Why did Martell go back there? Someone explain to me. Destiny, why did you sit? Why did you sit? I don't know why Tiffany go back there. Maybe Lou's right there. She didn't feel like it. Tisha, you the host, go back there. Y'all are not friends if y'all allow for a man who just had a very big blow-up argument the night before. Y'all felt like ruined your trip. What sense would it make to have him go back there again, knowing damn well it's going to be an argument? They do not need to be in the same quarters together or the room in a fresh argument that they just had. They're a detonator and a bomb. No. It's about a bomb refused to blow. Why the hell did y'all allow that to happen? I'm starting to believe that y'all felt like maybe this anniversary trip would have been boring if y'all didn't have drama coming on. I don't know. Because if y'all want this to be such a fun trip, y'all should have been about fun. Going out, going to dinner, going to casinos, playing games. But y'all allowed Martell and Mel to pretty much have something to talk about this entire time and not have it be about y'all relationships. Okay. So he goes in, see how Mel was. Did she sleep good? She said, I slept good. What I really want to know is why'd you come to my room at 1:30 in the morning? He said to apologize. Really, Martell? You came at 1:30 in the morning to apologize to me? No, you did not. You know damn well you did not want to come at 1:30 in the morning to apologize. He probably felt like this argument was kind of like a segue into, I know this is petty, but I was just wondering, how you been? Do you want to cuddle? You want to hold so I can get that thing? I'm like, no, Martell. No. You can't have this, breakup to makeup fights because there is nothing to make up in the situation. I know Martell desperately wants to get back to Mel because he can't handle being on his own. He can't handle it. Obviously, the outfit that he wore at basketball, wearing this Tyler hat, these from the Gap Kids collection, these tight ass shorts. Oh my God, Martell. Please go a size up. Go to the men's section. Go to the actual size that you need to wear. Stop wearing these tight ass clothes. So obviously, she said, work on your real apology. And he said, all right, cool. But she wanted to have a real calm conversation about the triggers that we both have in this relationship. My triggers for you is you constantly throwing my kids in my face. How you painted me as this bad mother. Like I don't know that I have 4 kids. I pushed them out, didn't I? So I know that I have 4 kids. You don't need to constantly remind me that I have 4 kids that I have to take care of. That I have to, show myself in a different way because I have 4 kids. My second trigger is you constantly downplaying my music. When I finished my song, you said congratulations. And you got upset that I invited you to sing a release party. I'm like, okay. She made points because lately, after last season, all Martell did was trying to pay mail to this bad mom who did not take care of her kids like she says she did, all because she dropped the kids off for one weekend because she had to go to Atlanta. This was a last minute decision, so she could not plan to have her mom babysit or an actual babysitter. She had to ask for a very reliable friend who knows her kids and she can feel comfortable with them. It did not sit well for you either way. So don't knock down my accomplishments. And how you getting your feelings because I didn't invite you to my single release party? Okay. So apparently, he said, I always want you to elevate. I always want you to great. I wish nothing but the best for you. Okay, you say that, but your action says something different. Why you keep making jabs at me? They go back and forth, and she wants to get everything out in the open, and he's being an asshole, not trying to take responsibility of the triggers that he knows she doesn't like. So he walks out. That would have been the perfect opportunity for Mel to not bring it up anymore. But since she felt like, I'm going to get all this out so you can't shut me up no more. I'm going to say what I have to say. If I want to insult you, I could speak about you and your side chick. I could said a whole lot more. And here he goes. No, that's what you're not going to do. He's way in the back saying, you have already been a side chick to 2 dudes already. I'm like, what? What did he say? I have to rewind. What did he say? A side chick to 2 dudes already? Are you serious right now? It's a yelling back and forth. You lying. I've never been a side chick to nobody. The men that I have been with, they have been with nobody. They were pretty much single men. Left and right. Nobody could hear the names because they was bleeping. And I feel like this is Martell's way of, again, trying to point out that Mel cheated first, so that led me to go ahead and cheat. I'm not the villain. I'm the victim here. She cheated, so I cheated. No, Martell, no. Out of all the evidence that we have seen you do, there have not been a shred of evidence that has said Mel had cheated with another man or was in a side chick. The only thing that she admitted to was in the midst when she left you, the last time she told you to not stop fucking with coleslaw, she left. She left in, say news on Twitter. She left and she talked to someone for about 4 weeks. They've never kissed. They've never touched. It was pretty much like a very intimate phone conversations. They've had intimate person conversations, but they never went from a kiss to nothing else. That was it. So you can't do that. And the producer is calling for Marceau. Marceau, I need you now. He's all yelling, you lying. No, you lying. You can't tell me I'm doing this and doing that. Back and forth. Destiny trying to push her back. Marceau had to pretty much, hold him in like a very tight hold and say, I'm not about to let you go and do this. And he was really yelling, but I feel like he was yelling to the point of his voice was about to crack because he was yelling so loud and so hard, his voice was about to be gone. Because Martell wants to continue paint a picture that Mel was not as picture perfect or the angel that she is. We've never said Mel was perfect, and we've never said Mel wasn't an angel. But the thing about it is, Martell, you have been completely outed. Your shit have been everywhere and it's still coming up about your shit. You need to own it, accept it, and move on. I don't know how many times you're going to have to paint a picture that Mel is this and Mel is that. We know sometimes Mel could be on some petty, messy shit. We know that. But at least the thing that she didn't do did not make you be publicly humiliated like you did her. So now the producers wanted to be calm and everything, but they're yelling across the kitchen table, and Destiny is in the middle with a face like, I'm so over it. I don't know why I even try to be in between these two. They're always fighting, And she's like, girl, what is going on? You need to not let him upset you like this. But Mel reminded Destiny, that's your boy. I've been trying to tell him he needs to get anger management classes because his anger is off the hinges. And then she said, I didn't take the bad, I was calm. So obviously everything died down from that, and they wanted to play another game. Hosted by Tiffany and Lewis. They wanted to play a Wildin' with the Willows. It was a drinking game. Either answer the question or take a shot. So in the midst of them trying to prepare for everything, Mel is in the room, and she's pretty much packing because she doesn't want to be here anymore. And she's like, listen, girl, had I known that you invited Martell, I would not have shown. And like I said in my last couple of videos, Mel, you knew about him and being invited. You knew he was going to come. I don't know how she can think Martell be missing action by going to Vegas. No. So I'm not going to give you that. You knew he was here, but what you could have did was not entertain nothing about him. So obviously Tisha wants to apologize for not even realizing how fragile her being in the same space with Martell would have been. All y'all knew that. That's why Marcel said, you think it would be a good idea inviting two fresh people that are our friends and they are fresh from a divorce and they be in the same room together? How would that go? But she says, I'm going to stay, but obviously I'm going to stay my distance. And if he says something to me, I'm out. So obviously they're going to answer the question or take a shot. So these questions are written up by Lewis and Tiffany. The first question was, are you sexually satisfied in your relationship? Are your sexual needs met? Me and Mel said, yes. Martell looked at her like, what the fuck you mean? Unless you got a Mr. Rabbit, or she was playing with saying yes, because she wanted to know Martell's, facial expressions. He obviously realized you are not the only thing that she can get dick from, okay? And you have been slinging yours to another female, so you don't need to have a question or a say-so in this. How many people have you had sex with in one night? Martell says 2, but she says highest number wins. Maurice says 6. I have to count. How you had 6 women in one night, Maurice? I'm like, was this a fraternity challenge or something that you had to do, initiation thing? I have no idea. But how do you 6? And I was with Tisha with these questions. Did you use protection? Yeah. Did you wash after each one? Yeah. Here come Kimmy. We don't need to. No, we need to. This is a type of tea we did not know. And did it collide with him meeting you? Were you one of those, 6 that he just, kept on going? And she asked him, in the midst of you having sex with 6 women, was I one of those rounds? He says, no. I was doing all that before I found myself. No, you found yourself in 6 different women. And he said, I know it was wrong. I know I did it, but I've changed. I'm like, okay, Maurice, you changed. The timeline. That's the type of timeline I want to understand. 6. How 6? That's a big ass number. You a hoe, Maurice. You are such a hoe. All right. Have you had sex in a public place? Marceau says yes on the highway. I didn't write the highway number. Here comes Tisha. So they can see us. Tisha, it's so funny how in Vegas you are so carefree and like let your hair down. And you are somewhat being open into things that you and Marceau have done. Why don't you act like this in Huntsville? Why do you act like you have to be on guard or on defensive when someone brings you something that you don't know? Maybe because you feel like underneath, your husband ain't up to no good. But I don't know. Vegas Tisha is a different person. But I'm not gonna give her too much credit right now. Drink if you are happy in your current relationship. Everybody took a drink except Marceau, and Marceau looked like, I don't got nothing to say. Because he's not happy. And I felt like, why didn't Tisha realize he did not take a drink? And he said, oh, I didn't understand the question. You did understand the question, Marceau. The question was, are you happy in your current relationship? You are not. I mean, Marceau, you have been pretty much professing your stress, professing your issues in your marriage to all the men and on camera. How you pretty much have had a moment, or the things that you and Tricia have gone through are divorceable, but yet you decided to stay. Your words, you did stay for the kids. In the midst of you staying for the kids, you realize that there's more to it. But no, I want you to keep it where it was at. You are staying for the kids. The thing that Marcel does is embarrasses Tisha more and more and more, and I feel really bad for her. Your man is embarrassing you in front of everybody, and you don't see it for some odd reason, but everybody else around you do. But they don't want to let you know because you are sensitive, and you think that we're jealous, and you think that we want him. No. And then of course, they. Oh yeah, right here. Drink if you've been unfaithful. Martell once said, everybody take a motherfucking shopping because they know how I have been. He's targeting that to Marceau, and he probably is targeting that to Tisha, the little tidbit that we don't know if LeBeric or Destiny have had indiscretions or not. We know Mel, he's trying to insinuate that she's cheated left and right. And then of course everybody's pretty much drunk, but Tisha didn't drink. And Tiffany said, "Well, aren't you a princess? You never cheated." No, because I'm faithful, bitch. I was like, "Oh, right back at you, Tisha." Okay. And then Tisha wants to know why are these questions being asked. You know what I'm saying? They all want to have us in a group orgy or something. I feel like, well, in the beginning of this trip, it segued into a threesome. And how, is it cheating? Is it not? That's one. So I think that Tiffany and Lou's kind of caught wind in the type of conversation that you guys were open to talk about. Maybe this type of drinking game wouldn't be that bad. So, okay, Tisha. In the orgy, they don't want you. And of course, I think Tiffany said, listen, girl, this is supposed to be your 15th anniversary. If I feel like you are all as sexual as you said, the things that you have admitted, I would send you getting it in and everywhere in this house. I would send you getting it in with the pool. I'm like, okay. So Tisha wants to take this opportunity to ask everybody, what advice will you give for people who are going through trials and errors in their marriages? She points to Maurice. He said, what are the things that you would do to make sure your marriage stay together? The things that I did to get married, I used to stay married. It's a work from both ends. And that was a really good answer. And he gets props for Tisha for sacrificing everything for him to go to school, for her to take care of Monster, and he's appreciative. And she asked Kimmy, do you think that you think that where you at now you have accepted things versus than what you accepted them when you were younger? She said, to answer your question, yes. But I think where I'm at now, I was prepared and ready to be married. Back then, I don't think I would have been prepared to let things slide or let things go if I was younger. But I am where I'm at now is the perfect place for me to have been married. So she's now asking Martell, what advice would you give to divorced people? He said, take care of your mate, and that's pretty much it. And she said, your husband, no, I didn't say about no husband, take care of your mate. That's all it was. Okay, Martell. And Mel was like, there are a lot of times where I wasn't taken care of, and I didn't go cheat. Boom. So the amount of patience that you did not have, Martell, for what you did not express to Mel what your needs were, nothing. And Mel had probably professed her needs for you, but you wasn't listening either. Okay. I'm gonna leave it at that. So Tisha, said, I know it's all about Mel and Martell because they're the divorcees here, but Destiny, you are a divorcee too. So what advice would you have, or what advice would you give? What advice do you have for other people? What advice would you give? Because I don't have no advice for nobody. A part of me, to say what you got to say, a part of me felt like, Destiny, this was your opportunity to talk about something in your life. We are 10 episodes in, and all we know is you and LeBeric are divorced. That's all we know. We don't know the dynamic of your divorce. We don't know what's happening after the divorce. We don't know how your co-parenting thing is. There are so many things that you have not said this entire time. It's lacking. What are you doing here? Otherwise, constantly holding on to this beef you have with Tiffany. And I get it, but I feel like at this point, find something else. So, Marceau says, what I want to know is, what did you do to make LeBeric leave you? Tiffany was like, what makes it was her fault? I'm just saying, where is LeBeric? And I'm like, you know what, Marceau? What you said was like, you were such an asshole for asking, but you did ask a question that we all wanted to know. What happened between you and LeBeric, and where is he? I mean, like, Destiny, there are some holes that need to be filled, honey. And, that's why Tiffany said, why is it always a woman's fault what's going on in the marriage? Why can't it be his fault? That's some things that Destiny needs to address. But the end of the day, Destiny, all she wanted to say was, you know what I'm gonna say is, I wish we could have been the family that I wanted us to be. That was it. I'm like, okay, Destiny, that's something. That's something that you wishes, but that's not something that you are not telling. What? Okay, I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go. I got more to say. I'm gonna let it go. So Tisha is going on and on about how they celebrated 15 years. It was hard in the beginning, but there are times where her mindset was thinking, I do not want to be a single mom. Now I can see Tiffany's, face frowning in this moment, because she's like, okay, what are you trying to say? But we're getting better. And my soul said, I think we put a temporary happiness in the forefront. If you're going to be happy, what's the point of commitment? What type of, phrase is better for worse if you're just going to be happy? But I feel like not everybody goes into the mindset of being happy or all the time. That marriage is supposed to be all sunshine and rainbows. We don't go through nothing. You can never go through nothing. No marriage is that perfect. But if you are working to fight for your marriage, there's going to be strife. There's going to be issues. There's going to be tribulations. There's going to be a whole lot of factors, a whole lot of damn. Can we, is it things that you think can be fixed, can be fixed. But it's all about you guys fighting the fight together. And I feel like Marceau constantly look at the negative of what it means to stay married without him recognizing what part he plays in. But he feels like, I would rather be married than be separate or be divorced. Okay, well, Marceau, you need to work on keeping it that way. There's a whole lot of cracks in y'all's marriage that are seeping through, and you guys need to work on fixing that. I believe it. So, yes. So, Tisha wanted to ask another question to Maurice, and she said, Kimmy, let me know if this is disrespectful, so I'm letting you know now. Kyle told us that it would have been a time where you and her could have worked it out. And if you did, why didn't you stay and try? I had to I'm like, Tisha, I know you're not going to ask that question. He said, yes, Kyle told me that you guys could have worked it out had you just stayed and tried instead of just leaving. So would you have stayed and tried? He said, no. I think that we stayed longer than we should have, and I was done, she was done. There was no point into keeping it up. It would have became toxic. But she said, but why didn't you try? You should have tried. No, I wouldn't know. I was done. Once I'm done, there's no point in changing my mind. And the fact that Tisha keeps on going on and on to professing what Kyle thinks that they could have worked it out in front of Kimmy, and Tisha thought this was an appropriate question to ask, I'm like, Tisha, you full of shit. I think you still are feeling some type of way about Kimmy, but I don't know where. Like I said, I knew the whole truth thing didn't work. I knew she was gonna fuck it up on her own, and she did. And I'm not even debating the fact that she's drunk. No, Tisha is not. No. Tisha uses liquor to what's the word? Ignite what she really wants to say, but she's too scared to say it in a regular way. She uses liquor to all the things she wants to say, which I didn't find cool. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to a marriage or relationship that's not going to work anymore, you just give up. If there is no trying for you or for me, we need to just go our separate ways and be a co-parent situation. That's all we need to be. And at the end of the day, I didn't like what she said. I didn't like how she pried. I didn't like how she asked that question in front of Kimmy. And Kimmy even said in the confessional, why are we talking about Kyle? Tisha, what's that about? Why are you bringing up my current husband's ex-wife and thought that it would be a right time to let me know that you had a conversation with her and she said they both could have worked it out? A lot of conversations you had with Kyle was coming out to fruition, Tisha. How you believe that Kimmy was a side chick, and now I think you're still in that same tone that Kimmy could have possibly have broken up a marriage that could have been fixed if you wasn't here. That's not cool, Tisha. And you want to have sisters? This is not what a sister do. So they break apart so they can have their separate parties. The men on one hand, the girls on one hand, and they're getting ready. Marcel and Tisha wants it to be understood that how is it when we have group activities, things tend to go awry, and we should not be responsible for it. You know what I'm saying? We can have adults on one end and children on another, and I feel like, we have to separate them so they don't interact with each other. What I didn't like was Marcel thinking that he is the know-all, be-all. Like, he is seeing everything that people don't see in themselves, how they don't see how they act, how they don't see how they, interact with things and yell. They need to be yelling. I'm pretty sure Mel and Martell knew they played the ass, but Marcel, you're not innocent in this. I hate the fact that you think you know everything, and I hate the fact that you think because you're recognizing it, that means you have no fault in it. You have no say so, and you have no connection to it. But both you and Tisha have engaged in conversations about other people. Both of y'all have in this weekend. All y'all been talking about is Mel and Martell. This supposed to be about y'all, and y'all okay. And I get it. When you're in a group activity, you want everything to go smooth and copacetic. Make sure you understand where everybody else is coming from before you go ahead and invite people, because the first thing you want to do is make sure everybody else is on a good foot. I don't want no argument. I don't want no fighting. And if you guys feel like you guys cannot get along by yourselves, don't be in the same room with each other, and don't have private conversations. Have everybody in one room so you guys can feel like you don't have to have a conversation. So Lewis and Tiffany are getting ready, and as she's trying to straighten her hair, he tells her what the guy said on the court on how Tisha's lacking confidence. The whole surprise therapy is her way of trying to get him to understand her feelings, but it's not working. And she's pretty much struggling, and she feels like, why is she struggling in her marriage? Well, due to the way things have been acting, they have a very lack of communication. But everybody is not strong enough. Everybody's not equipped to be at that level already of having a full understanding. So everybody has their way of going about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. And Tiffany feels like, you're my husband. Why can't I go to you? And Lewis said, I think because she feels like she's not going to get any help. Hey y'all, what's up? Had to handle something real quick. Okay, so I was just talking about when Tiffany and Lewis was in the bathroom, and he's letting her know what was being said by Marceau at the basketball courts, and the whole thing about how Tisha has lost her confidence. So of course Tiffany is like, why would you lose your confidence in trying to talk to you about your feelings without your husband? And Lewis was like, maybe the way that things have been transpired, she felt like the surprise therapy was a way for him to really hear her. And not a lot of people are so upfront with their feelings the first time that they have to go to other means for them to get met. And it takes a long time people come to that level. And the fact that, she, like she said, if she had expressed her feelings the other way, he could have went a different route and not have been accepting of it. So the therapy was the better way for her to do it. And Marceau is it's the whole thing about making sure that she gets the emotional support. So she had to go the other way. In order for me to get emotional support without going directly to my husband, I had to go this route for him to hear me. Moving on. So they get to the dinner and they're dancing. We see them at, I think, like a dancer club or a strip club, seeing all the girls twerking asses and stuff. They're enjoying it. So they were toasting and Destiny goes to Tiffany and said, I didn't know this was your first time in Vegas. That's so lame. This is your first time going to Vegas. A part of me feel like I think that Destiny, was waiting for an opportunity to come at Tiffany since she hadn't had no other interactions with her since her birthday party. So this was definitely Destiny's moment to try to come at her. I'm not saying that she can't come at her. I'm not saying the things that she said, but I'm also am tired of talking about how she made you feel at your birthday party. Your birthday was how long ago? A month ago? Get over it, okay? Yes, what Tiffany said was messy. We got that taken care of. The whole thing, how she talked about Monster. I'm done talking about it. Your whole thing with Destiny, your whole thing with Tiffany is you don't like how she delivers things, even if the information is valid or not valid. You don't like how she delivers it. None of us do. She's a very messy person. But Destiny, the way that I'm seeing it, you want to keep on having this type of beef with Tiffany because you don't want to talk about your stuff. It's been over 10 episodes, and I said again, we still don't know what is going on with you. The one thing that we have been constantly talking about is how Tiffany made you feel at your birthday party. I'm done talking about it. So the fact that you said it was lame of her to go to Vegas the first time, I don't think that's lame. I don't think that's lame at all. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the person's, cup of tea. If they're not a Vegas person, they feel like other forms of fun is where they at, then that's totally fine with them. So pretty much everybody is Yeah, so everybody's pretty much feeling Tiffany the entire time. They thought that everybody wouldn't be, having a good time with her. Teacher was like, who wasn't having a good time with her? Destiny. Destiny was the main one who does not have a good vibe about Tiffany based on our first interactions. And, Destiny said in her confessional, after all the interactions she's had, the first impression of her still left a sour taste in my mouth. I have not found not one good thing about Tiffany that I like, other than that she makes good drinks. And she even calls Tiffany a Karen. I'm like, whoa, not a Karen, Destiny, not a Karen. I mean, the whole thing about how she said what she said about Monster, then when she got called out, she cried. I understand that, but damn, Destiny, you really have this, I can't say, is it a hate? I understand, people just don't mesh. That's totally fine. Take it or leave it. But I felt like in this episode, you didn't interact with her that much where you felt it was wrong with her. The only thing that you want to point out is what she did to you. So Tisha talked about how she has more surprises coming in store for the rest of the trip. They said, what surprise you have? I'm a surprise Marceau with the vow renewal. Everybody was like, what? I'm like, Tisha, don't do that. Tisha, don't do that. I'm like, that is a recipe for disaster, and you will look like a freaking fool. So that led to Tiffany asking her, well, I mean, did I do that? Yes, because celebrating 15 years is a lot. Not a lot of Americans reach to that point. And Destiny wants to raise her hand and say, I think it's funny because I haven't reached that point yet, or like point out her situation, but not really giving any clarification. So she didn't even make it to 15 route, which is what the whole conversation was. Getting to 15 years is a long and hard process to do. Not a lot of people are fortunate. Destiny, like I wasn't fortunate. Destiny, you got something else to add? Because the jokes, I'm not. Okay, I'm moving on. So she said, what type of dress I gotta wear? A freaking dress, a regular dress? So, of course, Tiffany felt this is kind of a funny thing that you want to say because Lewis mentioned to me that Marceau was at the basketballs, they were shooting. And, he told me that you had another surprise for him. She said, I did. The surprise therapy. You really did that? Yes, I did. Okay, did he go with you? Did he go by himself? How'd that work? Okay, I surprised him. We went together. And how'd that work? Obviously, we never thought about going to counseling together. This is the first time, and I do believe it took, and we're going on date nights, making it better. And Destiny want to chime in and say, oh, well, didn't you surprise your husband with a wedding? She said, I sure did. But it was with the wedding that he wanted. I waited 2 years. I had no rush to get married. You know what I'm saying? And when she said that, Tisha was trying to repeat it, but she said, bitch, no, you did not just say that. But either way, Destiny wanted to call Tiffany out on being another type of person who spills out certain things about themselves and they don't have an answer or response like a spur of the moment. So when she called out Tiffany that she also did a surprise wedding to her man on a baseball field and he married her, thought he was embarrassed, but she felt like, nah, that's a wedding that he wanted. He was waiting on me, but I said I had no problem waiting. I waited for 2 years to get married. I was content. So Tiffany keeps on going with the conversation, especially when it came down to the confidence that you might have had in the beginning and that you kind of don't have as much now. Now, I don't know if your feelings are, collided with his feelings because I don't think you guys are on the same page. And Destiny's in the confessional say, that is so messy of her. I really wish Tiffany could read a room because I don't know how it's inappropriate for you to talk about this in front of everybody. What I found funny in that moment, I'm like, did you not think it was inappropriate that Tisha wanted to ask Kimmy and Maurice on what would have happened if he had stayed married to Kiowa? That was an inappropriate question to ask Destiny. And that was in front of everybody. Everybody, including you. You don't know Tisha like that, but you have developed a relationship with her since then. But that was an inappropriate question to ask. Come on, don't just put all this energy you have on Tiffany because you don't like her and how she made you feel. Do it to Tisha too. Tisha is also wrong for having that type of conversation, having that type of question in front of everybody. And she said it in front of the girls. It would have been wrong had she said that in front of Marceau. That would have been really wrong. But that would have called out Marceau for shit that he said. So, it's kind of like, Mel is pretty much, not upset to what Tiffany said, she pretty much is trying to put Tisha up on game and say, listen, girl, someone tells me something, I can either run with it or get buried in it. You know what I'm saying? Take it, spin it, add some sugar, add some honey, and go fix your man before somebody else want to tell you about your relationship. I think that's what Tisha is already trying to do, but she is bad at it. She is bad at trying to keep a straight face, a steady face, a strong face, trying to keep face of what's happening in her marriage that we are all seeing. There's some cracks in there. So the fact that she's hearing this from Tiffany, knowing that we know Marceau said on camera how she's lacking confidence and he's staying for the kids. I haven't got to that part yet. I'm sorry that I, let that, express that, but that's what it was. So, and this is actually what really said. So Destiny don't like how all the times that, Destiny don't like the fact that she heard that so you calling Tisha not confident, or no, this is what he said, because Mel was like, so what do you mean she's not confident? Are you saying it? No, that's what Marceau said. Marceau said she wasn't as confident as she was in the beginning, but she was confident from the beginning, but lately she hasn't been confident as much. This is what her husband was saying. Destiny still not liking it, and of course she brings the surprise wedding that Tiffany did again and said, yes, I waited. I wasn't in a rush to get married. He was. But then, of course, Destiny wants Tiffany to keep in mind when you're saying stuff, it comes off offensive. And it comes off like you're trying to, tear down someone. And she wish she had more cool. So Mel wants Destiny to keep it a buck and say what she really want to say. She said, I said it what I said. She said she had more cool. What Mel was trying to do was for Destiny to keep it a buck and say, you know what, Destiny? Come with the full thing. All right. You know what, Tiffany? I still got sour taste in my mouth on how you did to me at my birthday party, and I didn't like it. And I'm pretty sure the thing you just said now, I didn't like hearing it, and I know that Tisha didn't like it. And so you need to be careful on how you deliver something. There is a way for you to deliver something without it feeling like it's offensive, it's being shady, it's being messy, and you're trying to be like, you know better, and you're being judgmental. So, of course, Tiffany does what she wants to do. That's what Tisha said. Tisha said, I did not appreciate what she said to me, taking it in, but that's what Tiffany do. And I think that's what really made Destiny upset, that Tisha and Kimmy are all in agreement of her, that Tiffany needs to have a better way of delivering something that she heard. But I need to know the game of telephone, because I don't know if there's any code or if there's any, we don't talk about Fight Club with the women. So if Lewis doesn't know about what Fight Club means, how he is constantly talking about what the men say to his women, but don't they all do that? Don't the women bring back to what the women say to the men, and the men bring back what the men say to the women? Don't you guys all do it? Like, Tisha, you brought back what you had the conversation with the girls at Taco Tuesday to Marceau. You brought it back. I think because people don't like Tiffany and Lewis because they're new to the group and they are just coming in thinking they know everything, how they know the ways and outs of what's meant to have a perfect relationship, out divorce, in divorce, new marriage. They're like, we don't want you here. So apparently, it's like Tiffany is just finishing the fact of, we were talking about marriages and relationships and how you was talking about how, marriage is hard. And when it comes to you trying to, I hope I didn't miss the part where I said it. I didn't. Okay. So, we're talking about relationships, we're talking about marriage and how it gets to have the different dynamics, and on how when it came down to you and Marceau, you feel like he has to hear you call his name 5 times for him to listen, kind of like how when a child calls a parent, that they call our names like 5-15 times until we get it. So it led to Tiffany believing that, so you staying for the kids? She said, no, I'm not staying for, we're staying for each other. So Destiny thought it was offensive. Okay, Destiny, I'm going to give you that. But this is what Marceau said. But this wasn't Tiffany coming out of nowhere with the whole staying for the kids comment, because Marceau has already expressed behavior that he does not think he needs to take the time to know what his kids needs, know what it means to hold a baby, or know what a baby movement or a baby's cries or baby stretches. Don't even know what the baby's allergies are. So the fact that even though he even said it to the guys at the bus on how he's staying for the kids based on advice that his aunt gave, this is the energy that Marceau gave. And I get it. It's not Tiffany's place to say what her husband is, but I don't think Marceau will ever have the balls to say what he needs to say to his wife. He'll tell someone else. He always put it for someone else before he puts it on himself. So the fact that he told someone else, that was their fault for repeating it. You shouldn't have fucking said it, Marceau. But okay. So apparently it's again, you know, and of course Kimmy said, all right, what was said was bothersome. Don't defend the fact that you said it. Just come with a better way of saying it. I think Kimmy was also happy that someone put Tisha on blast, because she put her marriage on blast as far as like what would happen if he stayed with Kyle. And I looked at this entire situation as Tisha getting her karma back. I wasn't really that concerned with what Tiffany said or where Tiffany's place was. I was mostly looking as if like Tisha had egg on her face for someone telling her about her marriage and she don't know what the hell to do, but looked with a strained face on her face like she was about to just suck up tears. And she had a frog in her throat and she could not get it out. It was stuck. That part, that's what I looked at it. And, you know, again, Destiny wants to understandable. She wants to be understood. Sometimes you deliver things in a very wrong way. She's like, all right, cool. I was like, you're feeling some type of way. In Detroit, Atlanta, Huntsville, all those places. She said, first of all, don't play with me. Don't shade me. I feel like you've been shading her this time, Destiny. You shaded her with the whole surprise wedding. You have called her out by how she do things. So when she hits you back with, you have been shady from Detroit, from Atlanta, from Huntsville, you are obviously feeling some type of way about what I'm doing. And she's like, listen, we're going to have a conversation. We're not having a conversation. We're going to that. Okay, are we leaving it? This is Tiffany. Okay, we're done. Okay, we're leaving it. I really do believe that Tiffany shut Destiny down. Even though Destiny had some valid points to come at Tiffany, Tiffany was not even featuring Destiny, in my opinion. I felt like, all right, cool, because I felt like this wasn't even about Tisha's feelings anymore. This was about how Destiny felt. The whole thing is about how Destiny felt and how Destiny wants to be known that you made me feel some type of way at my party and I don't like it. And now you're making someone else feel a way and they're not on the same irritation as me and I don't like it. Now with the whole thing about Mel saying, okay, what do you want her to do? Not say it? Okay, what do you mean by that? I don't think that Mel was defending Tiffany. I think that Mel wants Destiny to just keep it a buck. You are a very vocal person. You know what you mean what you say. Just keep it a buck, Destiny. You don't like her because you don't like how she's coming, you know, how she's pretty much, you know, I don't know why. I don't know. I get Tiffany is messy. I get she can be shady. And I get that the way that she delivered things are a very wrong way. But I feel like the more Tiffany does things, it fades Destiny in the background. Because Destiny hasn't done anything for us to talk about. I get it. If Tiffany did not do what she did and just stay quiet, we would have been like, Tiffany, what you here for? Why are you here? You haven't brought anything. But since Tiffany's become a shit stir, a messy stir, all that type of stuff, we can't do nothing but bring Tiffany up. And I feel like, what the fuck is Destiny doing here? We haven't heard nothing from her shit either. So, of course, it is with don't drag it, because you can drag them and hear that. I don't play no about them games. We can leave it right now. And Mel was like, please don't drag nobody. Don't say that. I'm like, okay, Mel, I got that. I do. But that was pretty much the episode. But I also, again, I felt like I've not seen anything wrong with what Tiffany did. I felt like Tiffany came back at Tisha because she knew Tisha is putting up a front for her marriage. She know her marriage is fucked up. Yes, she know her marriage is going through some trials, and her and Marceau are trying to come up with a whole type of way of not admitting to it. And of course, Destiny, I feel like it's so easy for you to have like this beef with Tiffany because you don't want to bring about something about you. You don't want to. But I don't want to keep on having to talk about how she made you feel at your birthday party. I'm done talking about it, and I'm done with you trying to put Mel in the front hold about how she's not being a friend to you. Mel also put on her post a whole entire paragraph about how you guys think she doesn't have Destiny's back. She is not putting Tiffany in her place. And why are you advocating for what's happening? She said if we didn't have nothing to talk about, or Tiffany being the messy person that she is, what would we talk about? Because I think Mel is tired of having her and Marcel being the main story. We are too. So let's come up with someone else. Let someone else be the main person we talk about, even if we don't like them. Because that's reality TV. But that's it, y'all. That's all I have. Please stay tuned to my next video. I'm going to see you guys later. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.